There's so much confusion right now in the market from first-time homebuyers that don't know where to start. Getting conflicting information from different people ends up turning into analysis paralysis, where you end up doing nothing at all. I'm here to tell you that there are some very specific items you can be doing when getting ready to buy that first home that'll make the process go much more smoothly. In our lesson today, I wanted to go over my first-time buyer blueprint. These are the specific items you need to get done before you start looking at properties to ensure your mortgage process has the highest probability of success and the least amount of stress.
So if somebody's looking to buy their first home, what is the initial step they need to take in order to get things going?
So in our discussion today, I really want to focus in on primary homes because the majority of people buying their first home, it's usually recommended that you buy a primary home. You need somewhere to live. Why pay rent when you could be paying a mortgage and building equity? What you don't want to do is you don't just want to go online and start looking at houses. That's what a lot of people do when they're thinking about purchasing a home, and they just start dreaming. What is it going to be like to live in this beautiful home? They left out the most important part, which is getting qualified, getting pre-approved to buy that property. So the initial step to get things going is going to be to talk to a lender to get fully pre-approved.
How long before getting a mortgage, though, should someone start, this blueprint preparation?
You really want to sit down and meet with a lender a minimum of 6 months ahead of time, ideally 12 months ahead before you think you're ready. Credit is something that takes time to build or rebuild. So you could be looking at 3 to 6 months to get your credit from, say, a 570 to a 630 or 640. Again, it's not going to happen overnight in most cases. Also, if you have down payment challenges, you're not really sure how much money you need, it might take you quite a bit to save up what you need, depending on your price range and your circumstance. And if you have income challenges like self-employed, a lot of self-employed that are looking to buy homes that they haven't had their tax returns analyzed before, or they aren't aware of some of the different mortgages that are available that use bank statements for qualifying income. So all those items really come into play. And as a lender, we'll put that blueprint together. We'll tell you where you need to be and how to get there. Then it's up to you to do the work.
If I think my credit isn't good, though, or let's say I don't have enough money to buy a home, should I still talk to a lender?
Absolutely. I would say the lower you think your credit is and the worse off you think you are when it comes to a down payment, the more enticed you should be to talk to a lender. The earlier you should talk to a lender. So one of the things that I do with people that tell me up front, I have a super low credit score and I know I'm not ready to buy, but I need to know where I'm at, I'll do something called a soft pull, which just shows us like a transcript of the actual credit report. So I can look at that and say, you need to pay this card down, you need to pay that card down, these collections need to be deleted off of there. And we can really give you like a very specific plan of action on what needs to be done without harming your credit.
Could you take just a few minutes and maybe discuss the timeline on the pre-approval process?
So once your credit and down payment are in order, and based on at least a verbal conversation, we've determined that you're a good fit to be able to get a mortgage. We run the credit report, as I was mentioning. We get everything in order with your documents. And once your documents are received, then we're going to be able to review those and validate the information that you gave us. I'm talking about things like your identity, just your name. That may seem like no big deal, but I've had people tell me their name is, Butch Smith, and then when I get their actual license, they have a different name on there. Well, mortgages are legal instruments, and we have to go off your legal name. So the easiest way is to go off the license and what's on your license. So we have to verify your identity from that. We have to double check the income that you gave. Maybe you said you made $70,000, and when we look at your pay stubs, you actually made $68,000. That may not seem like a big deal, but in the world of mortgage processing and underwriting, it's a huge deal because that could mean the difference between you getting approved for the house of your dreams and not. We want to know that up front before you get too far in. Also, your assets. Where's the money coming from that you're using to buy the home? Is it a gift from family? Is it from retirement? Is it from savings, money market, investments? We need to know where that money's coming from. Number one, so we can source it and see where you have those funds. But number two, so we can make sure that there's no red flags on your bank statements or investment accounts with money coming in that's questionable, that sort of thing. So as far as that timeline, for us, it's a couple of days. You get me your documents on a Tuesday, typically 24, 48 hours. We'll have those reviewed. And if all is good, we'll be able to issue that pre-approval. And then the timeline that the pre-approval is good for, it's 120 days from the date of that hard inquiry on your credit.
You had mentioned documents. What are the documents that should generally be prepared, let's say, ahead of time?
The documents I'm talking about are going to be your identity documents, so driver's license or any sort of government photo ID. And if you're not a U.S. citizen, that's fine. There's plenty of loan programs for you, but we have to have your green card, your employment authorization, something to show that you're in the country legally. The next thing is going to be income documentation, pay stubs, W-2s, 2 months of your bank statements for your assets. If you're divorced, we need a copy of your divorce decree or separation agreement, if that's applicable. And then we also are going to need the statements for all of the accounts that you're going to be using for your closing retirement funds. So whatever the most recent quarterly statement is, that's the statement you're going to want to get to your lender. For investment accounts, we're generally going to be looking at the last 60 days. So if you're self-employed or you have a high rate of commission where you're getting a great portion of your income from commission, be prepared with 2 years of your federal income tax returns. If you have rental properties, there'll be a schedule on there. Also be prepared as a self-employed borrower to have a profit and loss statement, like a year-to-date statement of what you've made for the year and your expenses and your net profit. Hopefully now you see that buying your first home and getting prepared doesn't have to be that scary. It just takes the right foundation and the right team to get you there. If you found value in our lesson today, hit that subscribe button and also smash the bell so you get notified of all of our future content. Share this video with someone else who's getting prepared to buy their first home so that they can also learn lessons here. If I can be of assistance to you or anyone that you know, I do offer consultations. You can reach out to me directly at 860-413-3938. You can also send me a private message on social media and we'll be happy to discuss. Again, I hope that helps and we'll see you soon. Take care.